So here's something I wasn't expecting at 65. I'm clearer now than I've ever been. Not more patient, not more careful, not slowing down to smell the roses. Just clearer about what I'm doing here, about what matters and about what doesn't. That's not what anybody told me getting older would feel like, to be fair. And I've been thinking about why that is, why nobody really prepares you for that part. I want to talk about getting older today, the real version of it. Not the version that wants you to be comfortable with less. Not the version that accepts your limits and be grateful for what you had or have. A version that nobody talks about because it doesn't fit the story most people expect. So as you know, I'm 65 and I've made a lot of mistakes. I've wasted time. I've avoided things that quite frankly, I should have faced. I've had to rethink things that I was absolutely sure about. And somewhere in the middle of all that, something shifted. And this video is about what that shift actually looks like and the 3 things I wish that someone had told me properly before I got here. So what I think is that society gets things wrong. And there's a script that gets handed to you at a certain age. And you probably know it. You've had a good run. Now ease off. It's your time to rest. You've earned it. I'm not saying that rest is wrong. I'm saying that the way the script is written, it assumes that you're finished. Over the hill, that phrase, think about what it actually means. You've reached the top and now you're on the way down. That's the story, and most people seem to accept it without ever questioning it, without asking who wrote it, without asking whether it's actually true for them. And here's the thing, it's everywhere. It's in the advertising, it's in the way people talk to you. It's in the way that some people look at you when you tell them you're still training, still building something, still pushing. That look, like you haven't quite got the memo yet. And I felt that. And I felt the pull that comes with it. The pull to ease off, to stop pushing, to settle into something smaller. It's real. I won't pretend that it isn't. But I've noticed something. The pull gets stronger the more you give into it. And the opposite is also true. So, truth number 1. You stop caring about the wrong things. So here's the first thing that nobody tells you properly. At 65, you know who matters and who doesn't. You know which opinions are worth something and which ones, quite frankly, aren't. And I spent years, genuinely, too many years, managing what people thought of me, being careful, saying the right thing, not rocking the boat, performing a version of myself that was easier for everyone else to deal with. Well, I'm done with that. Not in a bitter way. I'm not angry at anyone. I've just got a very clear sense now of where I want to put my energy. And it isn't into performing for anyone who wouldn't notice anyway. I think when you're younger, you need a lot of external validation to feel like you're on the right track. You look around and you check, am I doing this right? Do people approve? At 65, that checking just stops, or at least it did for me. And it was almost suddenly. You develop your own compass and you trust it in a way you probably couldn't before. Now that's not a small thing. That's genuinely freeing in a way I didn't really see coming. So truth number 2, you know yourself well enough to be harder on yourself. So here's the one that people won't expect. I'm harder on myself now than I've ever been. Now that sounds a bit backwards. You'd think with age you'd give yourself more of a pass. And maybe some people do. Maybe that's what the script is about. Permission to let yourself off the hook. But I know myself way too well for that. I know when I'm avoiding something. I know when I'm making excuses. And I know the difference between a genuine rest day and a giving up day. I know when I'm doing enough to feel okay about myself without actually doing what I set out to do. That self-knowledge, it cuts both ways. It means you can be kinder about the things that genuinely aren't your fault, but it also means you can't hide from the things that are. The wisdom that comes with age isn't just relax and be kind to yourself. That's only half of it. The other half is knowing clearly enough that you can't get away with the same nonsense that you used to. That's what responsibility actually looks like. Not self-criticism, not beating yourself up, just clarity and being honest about what you're choosing and why. The truth number 3, the future is actually quite interesting again. Now this one genuinely surprised me. I thought the future would feel smaller at this stage. Fewer years ahead, fewer options, fewer of everything. I thought that's just what it would be like. But honestly, it doesn't feel like that. The future feels more interesting for me than it has in years. And I think I know why. Because I know what I'm building now. I know what it's for. I'm not chasing things other people told me to want. I'm not ticking boxes that someone else drew up. I'm not performing someone else's idea of a beautiful life or a successful life. I'm building something that's actually mine with the time that I've actually got. And I've got enough experience to know how to do it properly this time. That's a very different feeling to dread. It's closer to the feeling you get at the start of something real. And there was a moment where all of this clicked. And I was looking honestly at how I was living, and I asked myself one question. Am I becoming someone I'd respect? Not someone other people would respect, but someone I would respect. And the answer told me everything I needed to know about what to keep doing, what to stop, and quite frankly, what to start. That's what getting older gave me. Not comfort, not permission to ease off. Enough perspective to see clearly, and enough experience to actually do something about it. So if you're over 60 and you've been handed that script, the slow down, ease off, you've earned your rest version, I'm asking you to look at it carefully before you sign it. Because aging well isn't about gracefully accepting less, it's about knowing yourself well enough to demand more, the right kind of more. And I'm still figuring that out. A work in progress, as they say, but the direction is clear. And if any of that lands for you, drop it in the comments. Tell me what your version of this looks like, what shifted it for you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. There's more of this coming on Saturday.